You want me to start now?
Whoa.
Uhuru, and welcome everybody. I'm Ona Zanea Shatella. I'm the president of the African People's Education and Defense Fund, and I'm also the architect of the Black Power Blueprint. And I just really want to welcome everybody here. The mission of this program is to defend the human and civil rights of the African community and create programs that speaks to the disparities in healthcare, education, and economic development for the African community. Today, I will be speaking with you about what has happened so far to create this amazing program. Our journey to build this community basketball court was inspired by seeing all the kids in our community right here playing in the streets of this community. So this is what inspired this program to happen now. They would make hoops out of wire to have a basketball court. So APBL purchased this lot in 2018 from the city of St. Louis called the LRA. At the time, there were 2 abandoned buildings on this property. So we had them demolished and we cleared all the lots preparing for this basketball court. The community basketball court is only 2 blocks away from the Uhuru Community Center, the One Africa, One Nation Farmers Market, the Gary Brooks Community Garden, and where you see the red, black, and green 50-foot pole flying the red, black, and green flag. Did you know that there's only 1 in 4 St. Louis parks that actually have a basketball court? In fact, the city of St. Louis removed courts in 4 parks in predominantly white communities, reinforcing the city divide. But we say not anymore. We will break ground here this week. That's why we're here today. We would have broke ground today, but the rain has prevented us from doing so. So we're going to break ground this week on this property that you're standing on right here. We have been raising funds for about 2 years, and now it's finally happening. So many of you have participated in donating and volunteering, and we just really want to appreciate you and recognize you. And in fact, out of 225,500 people who submitted a video, John came and he videotaped our kids in the community playing basketball. And we were able to get Nick, who is a videographer, to come and submit this video to a powerful organization. And we have, we came in 2nd place. So we just really want to appreciate that. So I want to salute everyone for your hard work in this campaign that has raised what was needed for this basketball court. You are the real heroes in our community. Hundreds of people donated from across the country, shoppers at our economic institutions, and in Philadelphia and Oakland. The furniture stores that are located there, they have raised money to help make this a reality. We went to the people and the people spoken. Members of this community would come by the Uhuru House, they would drop off checks, all kinds of donations to make this a reality. So the power is really in our people. So I want to salute you and all of you who have donated through our fundraisers, through birthdays, who had their families do fundraisers for birthday parties, for everything. All the money that you have contributed today has went back into this community to build this amazing project. We cannot forget the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, who had did a 24-hour telethon to make this happen. So I just want to salute everyone around the 24-hour telethon. We raised over $40,000 in 24 hours to make this a reality. Yes. I want to recognize Charles and Inez Barron, who viewed the Black Power Blueprint as the roadmap to securing the neighborhood in the hands of the African community. We can't forget John Roulette, who took us over the top with the largest donation of the basketball court. He donated $50,000 towards the basketball. And we'll be remiss if we don't recognize the people who donated $5, $10, $20 to make this a reality. So the people have spoken, and we're here today to really salute everyone for this amazing accomplishment. The name of our basketball court is the Black Power Vanguard. So we are leading the way to make this a reality. And now what I would like to do is bring up Zanlile and Pico to sing our song, Vanguard. Yeah. I just really want to say, Black Power Vanguard, you guys made this possible. Oh, it's not just rebuilding, or it's not just building a basketball court, it is rebuilding this community. So, yeah. I am the strong man, I am the woman, I am the children. Identity, African bloody, foundation of all peace. Yes, they lie to me, the sweat of it cannot happen. I want it all back, taking it all back, the power inside of me to step up. I am the vanguard, I am the warrior, I am the front line to step up. I am the power, I am the knowledge from beginning to end the time to step up. I am my birthright, Africa, truth and light, the beauty of all right. Step up, the power we stand free against all our enemies. I am the vanguard. I am my mother, sister or brother, father or pregnancy. Yes, I do this, interest I do this, within our family. There was the plan to conquer our land and spread us among the seas. But we are comrades, and we are cadres, changing this fantasy to step up. I am the vanguard, I am the warrior, I am the front line to step up. I am the power, I am the knowledge from beginning to end the time to step up. That I am my birthright, Africa, truth and light, the beauty of all right to step up. Power we stand free against all our enemies. I am the vanguard, I am the vanguard, I am the vanguard. We are the vanguard, we are the vanguard. Yeah. Step up! Zanlile and Pico, vanguard. So next up, we want to bring up our chairman, Chairman Amalia Shatella. He's going to tell us why this night is so important. Chairman?
First of all, I would just express my appreciation to Comrade Deputy Chair Ona Zanlile Shatella. When I came up, she was talking to the press, and she told them that the Black Power Blueprint, that I was the visionary for the Black Power Blueprint. But, and that's true. But visions are nothing unless they can be implemented. Yeah. And Ona Zanlile Shatella is the implementer. So she has been key and critical to making this happen. And we're also recognizing that what we're looking at when we talk about this basketball court is part of an overall program. The question has been raised, why would you engage in making a basketball court? And the truth of the matter is that this community has been under assault for the longest period of time. That there's nothing natural about the conditions that Black people live in North St. Louis, north of the Del Mar Divide. It's unnatural. It is the fact that developers, big shot developers and speculators and the politicians who work for them are effectively responsible for creating the joblessness, the inability for people to feed, clothe, and house ourselves. We live looking at a community that's hungry, and that a community that has no jobs, a community that cannot see the future. And so what this is about is helping the community to be able to see the future by changing the conditions. And in the process of changing the conditions, the people change themselves. And so this is a part of an overall project that we call Black Power Blueprint. Down the street from here, of course, there's the One Africa, One Nation marketplace. They'd like to call this a food desert. But it's not a food desert, it's a power desert. That's what it's been. It's been a power desert. The people have not had power over our own lives to change our circumstances. So this basketball court is a part of a project to give power back to the people to reclaim their power, and in the process of so doing, reclaim their dignity, because the people that cannot feed, clothe, and house itself, it has no dignity. So that's a part of this process. And so down the street from here, there's One Africa, One Nation marketplace where people can come out and vend, sell to each other. Money can begin to circulate in the community as a consequence of that. That's one aspect of what it is that we're doing. They're talking about the emergence of a doula program. Women's health care is going to be provided right down the street from here, right in this community that they've told us cannot be successful. That's why this is so important that we're doing today. And young people who in this community, why is it? This community, young people are playing in the streets basketball using bicycle hoops for hoops, bicycle rims for hoops to play basketball. Why should Black children have to do that? This is a heroic, extraordinary community, and you know it has to be extraordinary to survive under the circumstances that's been imposed on them by developers, by speculators, and by politicians who work for them and not for the people. I'm talking about people who blame the people, the young people in this community for the conditions when they are the ones with the education. They're the ones with the connections. They are the ones who should be helping the people to be uplifted. Instead, they bring the police and things like that. They don't have to bring the police south of Delmar because people can feed, clothe, and house themselves, but not in this community. So that's changing now. That's what this basketball court is about. So we say that this is an extraordinarily important project. And this is symbolic of everything that we are working for. And yes, the children should be able to play basketball in their own communities. They should not have to play in the streets to play basketball. And there have been some politicians who said you can't put a basketball court there because it's too dangerous. And there's an assumption, there's a presumption in that statement that there's something inherently dangerous about Black people, dangerous about our community. We say that's not true. We say what's dangerous is the circumstances that Black people have been forced to live in. That's what it is that we're contending with now. And that's what this basketball court is a part of overturning. So we're talking about the people being able to reclaim our own power and our own dignity. Look at St. Louis. Look at what Black people have brought to St. Louis. Look at what Black people have brought to this country. When you look at a country, and if there's any wealth in this country, it's off the labor of Black people, the genius of Black people. St. Louis is a part of that. So now we are in the process of helping the people to reclaim their leadership, reclaim their genius, reclaim their future. And this is what this basketball court is going to be about. We're calling on everybody to unite with this community. We're saying this is an easy thing to do. Every now and then you see that the people are engaged in protests around this. The police kill somebody, protest. Something else happens, protest, protest, protest. And the police are actively involved in our communities in ways they're not involved in other communities. But the police are there to protect the status quo. And so what we are doing is changing the status quo. And this is the biggest, most important protest that people can involve in, is overturning the circumstances that we live in and to invite the people to play a role in that. And every Black politician should be a part of this project of taking this on. This is the thing that's going to make the difference in the conditions of the people and what they like to refer to as crime. Because the real criminals are the ones who loot this community every day. That's responsible for what you see all around you in terms of abandoned buildings, abandoned houses, and the rest of it. So we are eradicating crime. That's one of the things we're doing here. We recognize who the criminals are. I want to be clear on that. When I say we are eradicating crime, I'm not talking about bringing a basketball to some delinquent children. I'm talking about bringing a basketball court here that deals with the criminals who put us in these circumstances, like politicians, like developers, like speculators, and the rest of it. So that's why this is so important. I want to thank everybody who came out, and I want to call on everybody to join with building the Black Power blueprint. We will deal with the so-called how they characterize it, the so-called food desert, by bringing power back to the people so that people can engage in changing their own circumstances. And that's what everybody should be about. That's the thing that allows Black people to reclaim our dignity here and every place else. So I want to thank everybody. Thank Current Deputy Chair for allowing me to spend some time here with you. And this, as I said, is the implementer, the one who's led this project, led this process. And you will see, I hope you'll have an opportunity to see everything that's here, because we are initiating a fourplex here. That's for housing, for Africans who have been in prison to get out of prison, for a work program that we have, where we are initiating a food program for people can learn the culinary arts, can participate in that. And these are people who don't have a chance once they get out of prison, don't have a chance that put them in prison. And then once they get out of prison, they don't have a chance. And so we are changing that. That's part of what it is we're taking on. Thank you so much, Deputy Chair Owners and Shatella.
Thank you, Chairman. So just like Chairman said, it's not about building a basketball court, it's about rebuilding our community. So I want to bring up my president, President Columbai Antoinette, who is the international president of the International People's Democrat Uhuru Movement. Is she here? Okay, so next I want to bring up our alderman, the only alderman we know in the city of St. Louis, Alderman Jesse Todd, in the 18th Ward. He's going to say a few words for us.
Uhuru, comrades, Uhuru. I don't know what I'm gonna do coming behind Chairman Omali Yeshitela and the Deputy Chair who has done such a great job of leading this organization. I also want to give a shout out to the Chairman of the Uhuru Movement, Comrade Columbai. I want to give a shout out to the President Kofi. I want to also give a shout out to all the members of the African People's Socialist Party, as well as the Uhuru Movement. I also want to give a shout out to all our white friends. And let me say, these are friends. Right on. These are honest friends. Yes. I've met them. These are truthful friends. Yeah. They tell the truth. Yeah. You know, and and I'm not because they're white, because you very seldom find people, black or white, a lot of times, they really tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And they're unapologetic. And so I've had the honor of meeting them. So I want to give a shout out to their leadership. First and foremost, the leader of the African People's Solidarity Committee, the Honorable Penny Head. Over there, let's give Penny Head a hand. And she's a hard worker. Doesn't apologize. Then we have the chairman of the Uhuru Movement, Jesse Neville. Let's give Jesse Neville a hand. We need all the people, honest people who we can get. I was just standing here, and also all the members of the African People's Solidarity Committee and all the members of the Uhuru Movement Solidarity Committee. Thank you all for coming. All the guests who are here, thank you for coming. Let me first of all say that, and thank you all for inviting me. The first thing we need to realize about St. Louis, I've been in St. Louis since I was a kid. I used to ride through Allen, and I know we used to ride through Allen group of us boys on bicycles. And we had to ride through Allen because it was all white community at this time. And so we didn't feel safe being on the street. You know, we were crossing Natural Bridge. You know, we didn't feel that we belonged to this area. But the point is that it has been going down. And so when I got to be a teenager, got in politics, I had the name was, I thought sure during the Black Power movement, I was in the Black Power movement. I thought sure after we got black folks, we would be, living in an old ace. I would be perfectly frank after we got rid of all of it. I thought the problem really lied in the fact that we had white leadership and that we were going to do it better under black leadership. Unfortunately, I hate to report to you, we're worse off now. We didn't have any vacant houses over here.
Yeah.
We didn't have any. Their houses may have been vacant, but they weren't abandoned, so you didn't know whether they were vacant or not. And the store were vacant, but not one store was abandoned.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, I didn't go to every house. I don't know. But what is the point? The point is that we are on. This is the first time in the history of St. Louis that a non-religious Black group has ever, to my knowledge, bought land, bought houses, set up a brand new headquarters, and shown the leadership that the Uhuru movement has is showing. You need to give yourself a hand for doing that. Hey. What we show here, and I say we because I'm part of the Uhuru movement.
Right on.
I'm part of it. I'm not just an alternate, I'm a lifetime member. I'm not unapologetic. I don't care who has a yes, I support it. I'm a member for life. I can't quit. So even if I wanted to, I decided to sign up for life. And then since I expect to come back, I'll probably get another membership. When I come back, I'll still be fighting. I'll still be following the Uhuru movement, even though we will be living, eating milk and honey. But anyway, I'm gonna be and I will remain a member. But this shows you what power. This right here shows you what power is all about. Black power is all about.
Yeah.
It shows you what control is all about.
Yeah.
This shows what independence is all about.
Yeah.
Because no one can come in here and say, you can't be here. You can't take those tents down. The only people that we'll be holding to are the people.
Right on.
And I tell you, there's all land is the basis of all freedom.
Yeah.
There is that's why the developers are trying to tear down the land.
Yeah.
And this is why I've been fighting for more than 30, 40, 50 years for the Todd plan, because what they do, these developers, and I tell them to their face, they will not board up these buildings on all floors, because when it's raining like this, eventually those buildings gonna fall. They're gonna tear them down. Development is a scam. It is, and I tell them it's nothing but they create the problem. It's a rip-off. And even though I've done more as an alderman than any other person in the city of St. Louis, almost $1 billion worth of development, you would think I would be bragging. I'm not proud of it because of the fact that it shouldn't have gone down in the first place.
Right.
That's why should a neighborhood go down? Why should we spend for this $15 million a year just to cut grass after they tear down the building? Why can't we put the houses on there? Why should we spend half of the budget talking about public safety? We spend $100 a day to keep a person in prison. Whereas when they had a house, we could spend $50 a day without the crime occurring in the first place. We wouldn't need to use our taxpayers' dollars for gas for the police to take them there. A police time to catch them, take them there, book them, watch them, go to court. Then you got all this other support staff for the criminal injustice system, because it is injustice when you can have a person at home with their family and you have them in jail. The only thing jail is a slave ship on land. That's all it is. It's a slave ship on land. That's all it is. They lock you up. That was the dungeon in Africa when we got here. There's a dungeon down there. There's a plantation. After you go to court, then they send you to a plantation. I was born on a plantation, so I know what a plantation is. It's nothing but old rural places. That's worse restrictions than a plantation. When they make up some laws, when they say, well, we're going to catch you with drugs, and turn right back around and they say, well, we need some taxes, we're going to sell some drugs. weed is at the same level as all other drugs, heroin and cocaine, and all other drugs like that. It's a Class A felony. But they say, well, we're gonna bypass that. The same ones we put us in jail. But the point I'm making is, so we with our movement, we have control, we have power, and we're using that power. We are setting an example. And so I want to thank everybody. And so when we talk about crime again, I just got to talking about crime. If the city really wanted to solve crime, we could solve it, because we could take and we could easily use that money for parks and everything else, healthcare. Drugs could be treated, healthcare jobs, but they won't do that. They say you're crazy if you try to use money, use taxpayers' money for anything but locking up mostly Black people. And these are Black people most, because every committee has a majority of Black people, and nothing can get on the floor without the committee letting it out of committee. So we can't blame anything. So it's poor Black leadership, and I tell them, and I'm not lying, if anybody challenges me and tell me that if we don't have a majority with the president of the board on every committee at City Hall, they're not telling you the truth, because we do. So they're complicit. We can do better, and then it's our fault if we support them. Because I don't support. I'm going on record, and I'm not endorsing anybody who don't work on in the interest of the community. And I'm not saying, they may say they think they are. If they that dumb, they need to quit. And I'm for term limits, and I'm making it very clear. We need to term limit everybody out. Everybody in there. I'm in there too. Everybody needs to be term limited out. And okay, and thank y'all very much. I can talk all day. You don't want to kill me a fight. I am. Okay, yeah.
So if you want the truth, Jesse Todd is your man. So again, I want to bring up my president, President Columbayi Antoinette, president of the International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement.
Can you bring some of the troops up there with you?
Yes, I was just about to ask for the young comrades to come and join me.
Right on. Right on.
I had to go get them because it's raining. So some people was discouraged by the rain. But we're relentless.
Yeah.
We are a relentless group. We are a relentless organization that is relentless, that we will not continue to sit back and take hell that this state and all the people that has looted our community, we're not taking it no more. We have an organization that is helping the African working class stand up tall, hold our chest up and our heads up and say, we know who we are and we can do it for ourselves. So move on out the way and let us in. So I just really want to, this started, like we have the Black Power Blueprint. And this is our community. We live here. We eat here. I live on this street. This is my community. And so one of the things is I seen the police harassing these young Africans behind me. And they just playing basketball in the middle of the street with a hoop that they own made. And they hooping and having a good time. And the police keep stopping and, moving it out the street and telling them that they can't be playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? And we talk a lot. These have became my comrades. So they helped me put out 5,000 broadsheets. And they also work and put out, do outreach. Sometimes they beat me doing outreach for the One Africa, One Nation Farmers Market. So where they say that we have a community of young people that don't deserve a basketball court, I say that these young men behind me are brilliant. Yeah. They are part of our community. They deserve a basketball court. And how dare anybody stand in the way for them to have that? And so, I went to the Uhuru House and I talked to this bad African woman, Deputy Chair Onizine Yeshitela. Yeah, it's words that I can't even give because a lot of who I am today is because of the leadership that she has been before me to show me what it means to be an African woman and be in leadership and how you conduct yourself and how you speak and how you do the work and how you make sure that we give the people the best. So I told Deputy Chair I was mad, I was pissed off, and I told her, I said, you know, the boys, they just playing basketball in the middle of the street and the police keep harassing them. And she said, we got to do something about that. So she said, well, I'm gonna talk to the chairman about it as well. So we had a meeting, we talked about it. And then next thing I know, it was a whole plan. I said, hey, Deputy Chair, I just said, maybe we can take them to the basketball court. We're gonna build our own basketball court. She said, yeah, the people have spoke. The young people, we heard them, and they deserve a basketball court. I ain't gonna point one of them out. But one day I was talking to this African, and he told me, he said, Columbi, he said, I can't dream. I can't have a dream because I'm just too busy trying to survive today. And what's worse than today is waking up tomorrow and have to do it all over again. He said that I feel like the devil and God, you know, are in cahoots against me from birth. And I said, I called my leadership and we explained to him that it's a thing called colonialism, that it's not your mama, it's not your daddy. It is colonialism that have breed on our community, that our community is not poor, it's being looted. It is being looted. We don't have a grocery store because they don't want a grocery store. We don't have a basketball court because they don't want a basketball court. They want our community to be in the conditions that they in. But we got a new organization in town.
Yes.
And we got people that is relentless, that understand the conditions. That's so important, that we understand the conditions of why these things are happening. We are not confused. We understand. And we are organizing. And we are organized day in and day out, building true economic development, not a spy institution. Just want everybody to know that the NGA is not economic development to the Black community, and the Black community never asked for it. We never asked for it. We never sat down and said, bring the spy institution to the north side. And we did not ask for a golf court. We asked for a basketball court, and we put it here. We did it for ourselves, and people all over the world united, Black, white, everybody united that the Black community is good and deserve a basketball court, and that's what they got. So I just really, really want to salute and appreciate everybody out here. I really want to make sure that I appreciate Chairman Amalia Yeshitela for coming to St. Louis on August 9th when Mike Brown died and seeing the conditions. And since then, look where we have came. Look what we have concretely put on the ground to say that this is what we do when we say that we want power. This is what we do when we say we want Black power. This is what we do when we say Black people need to feed, clothe, and house themselves. This is concrete, manifest. You see it. You don't have to dream it no more. We live in it. So now, I say to all these young men behind me, I appreciate it. And I told you, they even, hold your head up, y'all. Y'all handsome. Show everybody y'all handsome chocolate Black face. Hold your head up. Y'all deserve to hold their head up. Y'all deserve to hold your head up because I've been struggling with them, and I've been telling them that you deserve it. I don't care what don't happen, because all of us, every Black face you see, we got a story. We have a story, and it wasn't because some mystical thing happened. It's because of colonialism. It's because of the attack on Africa, and it's because that we are being pushed out of political life to do it for ourselves. But we coming back. Right. And we say the African working class, we'll lead this struggle. We will lead this struggle. And I appreciate you because you are our future, and we believe in you. And that's why this is happening today, because of you. And like I tell them all the time, it's for you, but it ain't about you. It's for you, but it ain't about you. Because all of us, like Zanzile said in her song, step up. Step up. It's time for us to step up as a people, as humanity that understands that we could not continue to act like we don't see this elephant in the room. It's time for us to pick a side. As Deputy Chair say, the lines have been drawn. Whose side are you on? I'm on the side of the people. I'm on the side of the people. Make sure, evaluate. You might think you're on the side of the people, but you might not be. So evaluate and see, because if you the only one that's getting the ducats, then it ain't the people. You got to make sure that the people are winning with you. Because if you winning by yourself, then you're on the wrong side of the question. You got to join organization. Like Jesse Ty said, I am a proud member of the Uhuru movement. Uhuru. Whoa!
Thank you, President Columbi. So next up, I want to bring up Zaki Baruti, the Universal African Peoples Organization, to say a couple of remarks tonight. Thank you, Zaki.
Uhuru. Black power. Let me just say that I am so humbly honored just to be in the presence of the actualization of a vision. The actualization of a vision. And that's what it's all about for us as a people as we go further into the 21st century. And actualization of the day that we are actually free.
Yes.
Free from the oppression that constantly goes on day in and day out. So it's in that spirit that I salute the Uhuru movement, the African People's Socialist Party, and PENDUM, because we need this. We need a rebirth. We need a new direction.
Yes.
And that direction, and what really touches me real deep, is the emphasis on our young people.
Yes.
It is criminal for so many years that our young people have been criminalized.
Yes.
And so again, I salute the movement, the Uhuru movement. Let's all give the Uhuru movement a well-deserved and may this just blossom to every block in the city of St. Louis, and not in the city of St. Louis, in the state of Missouri, not in the state of Missouri, in the whole country of the United States, and past the United States, all throughout the world. For Uhuru.
Thank Zaki Baruti. I just want to acknowledge a couple of people that have come to our event. I want to acknowledge Jay Shinman from Square. Uhuru. 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 I want to acknowledge Christian Gordon. Uhuru Christian. I want to acknowledge Ty Hawkins from Channel 2 News. Aja Owens from Corey Bush office. Dwayne Thompson, who is our premier architect for all of our projects. Dwayne is here. I want to acknowledge him. I want to give a shout out to Tammy Hollins. A lot of you may know Tammy. She helped win her friends Tina and Terry Koopman to donate to this project as well. So I want to give a shout out to Tina and Terry Koopman for donating to this project as well, and also Tammy Holland. So we're going to go ahead and keep it moving because it's raining out here. We're going to go ahead and you want to say something? Okay. So also I want to recognize Angelica Newton. Yeah. I don't see her, but Angelica, I just want to recognize her as well. And I can't see with these glasses on. I want to just recognize just everybody that came out to this important event. This is, I see Jason Pye. I want Jason Pye to come up here. He's our electrician. Jason, can you come up and say a couple words? Yes, Jason has been with us since day one. He's our electrician, and he's been on every project that we have done, and he's going to be on the basketball court as well. Jason, can you come say a few words?
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
It is a beautiful day, isn't it? First, let me say, I am honored to be before you. I thank God for the opportunity that you yielded this platform for me. We're about to do some great things in the community. I wanted to wire St. Louis and through AD or AFD, ADEF. I am going to be able to do it. With the leaders of this organization, we're gonna make it happen. Listen, when they wrote us off, when they forgot about us, God dropped someone in this community. When they forgot about us, they dropped us they came to this community and just showed up and showed out, and we're just so grateful. So I'm excited about what we're gonna do. I can't wait to bring the power in, and we're gonna make it happen. Mr. O'Malley, owner, thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, Jason Pye. So what we're gonna do right now, before we close it out, I do want the chairman to come up and close it out, because after this, we're gonna move this podium and we're gonna do a little groundbreaking, and then we'll, adjourn inside. So chairman, can you come and close us out, please?
I just want to unite with Honor Ishatella, Deputy Chair, and saluting everybody who's playing such an incredible role in making this happen. All of these extraordinary people. St. Louis is also remarkable because there is a wealth of talented people who are contractors, who bring skills, and we got architect here, we've got electricians, plumbers, people who've actually made this happen from our community. And the thing is that we need to harness all of that. That's what a part of this project is. And when we're talking about being able to feed, clothe, and house ourselves, we're talking about harnessing the resources that's right here in the community, and then make it possible for those resources to explode. That's the power that we are talking about. And just want to really appreciate that. And again, say that these young Africans here, who don't yet understand who the hell they are, and who don't yet understand what's happening to them. But I want to bring you into organization, and so that you can discover who you are in the process of changing this community. And I dare you to allow anybody to tell you that it can't be done, that you have to live under the circumstances that's been imposed on us. We want to give you an opportunity to change these circumstances. But it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a fight. It's been a fight all along, but you've been fighting by yourselves up to now and been fighting without an organization. So we bring an organization here, and we're saying that it's a new day. So when we dig this hole, this groundbreaking is symbolic of breaking into the future. And the future is one of liberation, freedom for Black people, for African people, and changing this horrible circumstances that's here north of the Delmar Divide. I want to thank everybody who's been here, who's come out, all the people who provided extraordinary solidarity to make this happen, and people who thought it couldn't happen. But we've given everybody an opportunity to participate, and there's a lot that has to be done. And these young brothers and sisters who are not here yet are going to make it happen. Thank you so much. Uhuru. Uhuru. And Councilman Todd, Alderman Todd, he's got what's called a Todd plan. When we first got here, he said, I'm going to show you something. And he dragged it out and said, this is the Todd plan. You don't have to mention me or anything, but this can be implemented. That can you got it in your pocket. Right. All right. I keep it with making sure I stay on task, Mr. Chair. All right. So I want to thank everybody so much. We're going inside. No, we're going to
Move this.
move this. Okay.
And then, who is that? Abdul,
What's that?
Chairman.
What am I doing?
By one of the shelves.
One of the shelves. Okay. Yes, Todd. Jason.
Top is separate. Where is he?
There's your architect back there too, right?
Dwayne? Yeah, it's gotta be. Okay. President Colombi. President Colombi. Right.
Get the black power back on.
No, it's a wide shot, folks. We need to be backed up, so.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Come
All
on.
right.
Yes.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
Go ahead and sing.
I am the vanguard, I am the warrior, I am the bright light. Sing it if you know it. I am the power, I am the light from beginning to the time. I am my birthright, have trouble, truth is like feels me of all right. That power we stand free against all our enemies. I am the vanguard. Step up. I know you want to say step up.
Step up.
Everybody come inside. We have food, refreshments inside here. So if everybody can come in if you like.
Oh, come
That is
on.
right.
It's right.